before getting started, can we just like take a few seconds to admire my makeup today because I am on fire. Oh my god. Channeling the Omar Woodberg energy right now.
What is Omar?
I just love being cute.
Yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome back on my channel. I was on Twitter the other day and one of the people I followed actually made some kind of poll about basically she made a tweet where she said, please quote this with your unpopular opinions about young royals. And as I was going through the answers, or through the quoted replies, should I say, it made me think that we had a lot to discuss about this show. I made a small selection of tweets which I thought were interesting, or at least where I thought about something to say. It's either tweets I agree with or tweets I do not. I'm pretty curious to know what your opinions are, so if you agree with some of the stuff I'm saying or the tweets I'm dissing are saying, please comment down below and we'll talk about it, because apparently young royals is ingrained in me at this point and I cannot live without talking about it, so yeah. Before we get started, I just wanted to say a really quick disclaimer. I am going to blur out the names and the picture of the persons who made the tweets, not because I don't want to give them any credit, but just because it's the internet and I know how it works, and I don't want you guys to go and find them on Twitter and harass them for their opinions or whatever. That's not the point of that video. The point of this video is just to discuss things that I've seen going around in the fandom. I feel like everything in life, you can have your own interpretation, and as long as the creator of that thing doesn't give their explanation and what they actually meant by that, you're allowed to interpret it in any way you want. And even that is arguable, because often in arts and in books, you get authors that say, well, I didn't mean it that way, and still people are going to read it with their experience and their thoughts on it, that's going to affect how they see things and perceive the media in any way, shape or form. So it is kind of a gray area, but obviously I have my own opinions. I've watched the show I think 2 or 3 times already since the reaction I did on this channel. I'm actually going to watch it a 4th time with one of my closest friends later tonight. Actually, that's why I'm looking like that. He's been looking for good queer content, and I talked to him about young royals, and I was like, you know what, there is this show and they're doing everything right for once, so you really should check it out. And then we agreed that it would be fun to have a sleepover and watch it again. Anyway, I digress, I'm sorry. So as I said before, please don't go on Twitter and try to find the people who made the tweets. That's like I said, that's really not the point of the video, and obviously I can force you to do anything, but please don't be the August in those people's story, okay? We are going to get started by the tweet that actually made me want to do this video, because I so strongly disagree with what this person said. It goes like this. Villain was too much of a push-up relationship, which made it kinda toxic. Oh my god, I'm getting prepared for bidding. Oh, and by the way, Simon was definitely too submissive, which made him a pushover in the relationship, and Willem allowed himself for too much. Did we watch the same show? No, but in all honesty, the people in this fandom are pretty young. I feel like it's either teenagers or really young adults who watched the show and loved it. I might be wrong, but I'm going from also the audience I was getting from my reactions on YouTube, and I know that it's not the same and it's not exactly comparable to the audience that the show actually touched. But I don't think this person is an adult. Okay, let me explain. I don't want to shit on young people nowadays, because I feel like teenagers, they are way more informed than how we were when I was younger, and from the generation of my mom and stuff like that. So I'm not actually bashing young people when they say stuff like toxic relationships and stuff like that, but you actually have to understand the meaning of toxic, okay? And I'm sorry, but Vilmon is so not a toxic relationship. I actually found a good definition of what toxic meant, so I'm going to read it to you guys. So this is a psychology expert who says that she defines toxic relationship as any relationship between people who don't support each other, where there is conflict and one seeks to undermine the other, where there's competition, where there's disrespect and a lack of cohesiveness. And they also said that while every relationship goes through ups and downs, a toxic relationship is consistently unpleasant and draining for the people in it, to the point that negative moments outweigh and outnumber the positive ones. Toxic relationships are mentally, emotionally, and possibly even physically damaging to one or both participants. So, with that in mind, how is Vilmon toxic again? Okay, let's break that tweet down. The push-pull relationship they had was not only there because it's for drama, and like it's also because Willem was actually going through things. It's we don't know much about his life before getting into Ileska, but it's pretty clear that Simon was his first boy crush. So that's only makes like their interactions understandable in that way. And we've seen that storyline already in other TV shows, but this time there was also the whole aspect of Willem actually being a prince. And it's been said that a lot of people already, but like the show, there wasn't really homophobia in it. Not in the sense that we see on media usually, which I think was really good and refreshing to see. But so obviously Willem was going to push Simmons in the beginning. Like, duh, that's logical. And that does not make it toxic. And as for the Simon is a little bit too submissive, I get so tired of people on the internet sometimes. Like, in what way was he submissive? The only stuff he did, which were good, were to actually listen and like read Willem's body language and be patient with him. And like, just once he understood that it was hard for Willem, he just let him control the pace of the relationship, which I think was the right move. Because where you're into a relationship where one of the people is more like experienced or just more confident in who they are and what they want, like obviously you're going to have to find the rhythm like between the two people. So Simon actually understanding that and waiting for Willem to like explicitly say and does stuff he wanted with him, that was actually good. So I don't read that as submissive. And even if Simon were submissive, why is that wrong? And I'm not even going to get into the whole pushover thing, because that's something I actually said in my reaction to the show, but I totally disagree with what Sarah said when she said that Simon was letting people piss on him, because it's been shown to us that every time he's felt wronged and like people were abusing of his kind of abusing him, he speaks, okay? Like, there is the stuff with his dad, there is the stuff with August, there is the stuff with even though he was like going out with Willem in secret and stuff like that, he like stood up for himself when Willem was kind of like suggesting that maybe Simon would take the fall for the whole drugs things. I know it's not what he was going with that conversation, but that's how Simon felt it was going at the time, so that's why I'm saying that. But so, I'm sorry, someone who's a pushover would have not said half the things Simon said. He's not a pushover. The second tweet is interesting. I don't know how people are fine with Sarah when she literally didn't tell her brother who leaked the video, even though she knows it's August. Okay, so this one is interesting because at the moment, and by the end of the show, I wouldn't say I'm okay with Sarah. I understand the reasons and behind her behavior and why she acted the way she did. By the end of season 1, she feels betrayed by her brother, okay? So I don't know if you guys ever felt betrayed, or if you don't always like react and does the right things when you feel wronged by someone, like Sarah is clearly right now. And I'm hoping she'll come around in season 2, and if she does come around in season 2, then I'll forgive her in season 1, but like it's not even like my place to forgive her, like that's Simon's place. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, I understand why she did what she did. Was it the right thing to do? Obviously not. Should she be held accountable for it? Duh, obviously. But no, I understand why she did what she did. Even though it sucks, it really sucks. And if she does not acknowledge that in season 2, then yeah, I won't be okay with her character. This one is interesting as well. A lot of people don't realize that Willem's mother is the queen. She has a reason for certain stuff she does towards Willem. Okay. Yes, she is the queen. So part of how she handled the whole situation, I truly get it. But would that hurt her to be like there emotionally for her son? Because she's not. She's not been there with him when Eric died. She's not been here with him before that or like after. Like, she seems pretty cold, and it's going to be like a headcanon. But if we're going from how touch stuff and like desperate for love and, you know, attention, but not in a bad way, just attention, just for people to notice him and see him, Willem was, it's pretty clear that he didn't get that with his parents. I don't want to say with the whole family, because it is clear that his relationship with Haywood was really special and meant a lot to him. So I think he got that with his brother, but like one person, that's not a lot. And so yes, I understand her decisions and what she did as a queen, but as a mother, no, I don't understand. And she could have been more understanding and like empathetic. And even though I understand how she and why and how she handled that situation, I still think that if she was a good mother, she would have at least have like not let August go so easy. I'm not saying anything about like giving his name publicly as the one who did the video. Like, obviously it wouldn't work for the royal family and all that, but in intern, please freeze his assets, whatever, like actually do something. Oh, okay, this one is good. I'm glad Simon didn't say it back. I'm glad too. Okay, I know it let a lot of people down, and actually some people in the fandom either totally picked Simon's side by the end of the show or like picked Willem's side, which I don't understand, because there is no side to choose on. Don't you understand that's the point of the show? Like, Willem didn't do this because he wanted to. He didn't have a choice, and like his choice was Simon. It was pretty clear, and people have different interpretations. But for me, the fact that Simon didn't actually say it doesn't mean that he doesn't love him. It just, like, I think you could like feel and understand that he loved Willem, or at least like cared a great deal for him, with a lot of other things, like the fact that he came in the middle of the night when Willem was on the football field after being rejected by him earlier. That's an act of love, I'm sorry. The way he just like cling on to him when Willem was hugging him just before he said those pathetic words, and how he hugged him after he said it, you know, like closing his eyes and just not wanting to let him go. Like, you can see how painful it is for him as well. But that's the cards they've been given. That's how their story is supposed to go, and that's like, what would have happened if he said it back? Like, despite acknowledging it himself and feeling even sadder and like making Willem feel bad by the decision he took, I don't see what difference it would have made. And like, Willem knows that Simon cares for him. I know that in my heart that he knows. So I agree. I'm happy he didn't say it back. The Queen should have pressed legal charges against August, not because it was her son in the video, but because he recorded and publicly posted child pornography. She knew who the offender was, and it doesn't mean shit that he's family. Family doesn't always come first. Yes, 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 say it louder. And that's actually why I'm pretty pissed at the Queen, because I understand not wanting like your dirty laundry to be like out in the public eye like that. But hey, what August did when he's an adult, like barely an adult, but he's an adult, that's a crime. So like, hello. Oh, wait. Oh, you know what? It's funny. You remember that scene where August said you could kill someone and like nobody would bat an eye? He was right. I mean, he didn't kill anyone, but yeah. The monarchy, you all. I really like this one. I feel bad for Simon's dad. Although he's an addict, he seems to care about his kids, and I would love to know what happened. Maybe after the whole story, I'm going to change my opinion. I agree. I actually thought Simon and Sarah's storyline with the dad was pretty interesting and well made, and I would love to see more of it in season 2. As I said during my reactions, I understand the grudge Sarah is holding against him, and I understand that it's also part of her getting, you know, like processing that trauma and getting better, and sometimes it's just easier to like cut people off altogether. And since we don't know the whole story and we've seen only like a few scenes with the dad, I can't say I'm rooting for him, because I don't actually know if he's trying to get better. In the beginning, he felt like that, he felt this way, and maybe not seeing his children while he was trying to recover like didn't help him. But like the whole thing with Willem and Simon, I think that it's a situation where you can't exactly take side. It's just how it is. And if the dad really tries to get better, and I really hope he does, not only for like Simon's and Sarah and Linda's sakes, but also for his sake as a person, I think it would be interesting to see more of that. And I do feel bad for him because he looked really, really sad. And I think that he's at this point in his storyline, even though, as I said before, we don't exactly know him, where he realizes what he lost with his addiction, and that's sad. Even though both Simon and Willem love each other, it's pretty obvious Willem is more in love with him and fell way harder. Now, this is again a question of perspective, because I don't agree with that. I just think that we focus way more on Willem's falling in love with Simon since the story is kind of like told through his eyes, even though it's not exactly, but you know what I mean. He's the main character. I mean, both of them are, but he is the main character. So I feel like we've seen him fall for him harder, but it's also because they have different ways of showing the attraction between Simon and Willem and how they feel it. I don't know how to explain. Just like love languages are different for people, you don't fall in love for the same reasons, and you don't fall in love at the same rhythm and in the same way. And I would say that I think they fell in love pretty much at the same time. But I think that in the beginning, Simon was trying so hard to like protect himself because he knew deep down that the situation was messy, and with like Willem showing signs of I'm interested and then I can do this and stuff like that, like he had to protect his heart, obviously. But when episode 4 happened and when he understood that no, Willem really, really, really like not only like craved him but like needed him and like cared for him a lot, I think he fell, like he let himself fall so freaking hard. And I think at this point they both love each other so much, which is why the ending hurts. And since I was talking about the love language things, I'm actually curious about what are your guys' thoughts on this. But it's been established by the show that and the creators around the show that Willem's main love language is physical touch, which are we surprised? And actually, I think that Simon's first love language is words of affirmation, because if we think about how he wanted to know what Willem thought of his singing, how he reacts every time Willem compliments him or anyone compliments him, and how he needs to actually hear stuff coming from Willem, you know, like not just see them and feel them, actually hear them. I think words of affirmation is his first language. But like in every good and healthy relationship, they both adapt. And so Willem gives Simon words of affirmation and Simon gives physical touch to Willem. And actually, now that I think about it, probably they probably match in a sense that Simon's second love language would be physical touch, I think, and Willem's second love language would be words of affirmation. I don't know. If you agree or disagree, please comment down below. I'm really curious what you guys think about that. Willem not abdicating and becoming the king would be unfair and an unhappy ending no matter what. You can't tell me that one day he's going to change his mind about being royalty and suddenly care for the monarchy. That would be literally so out of character. I agree, and I do more than agree. I think that's one of my main concerns with the show and why I think Willem should abdicate. I don't think he should abdicate only for Simon, but like, he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to be king. And I know it runs in the family and stuff, and I understand the importance of like blood and stuff like that, but how can you give control of the country to someone who doesn't care and doesn't want to have anything to do with that? I don't know, I agree with this tweet. Please let him abdicate for his sake, for his freedom, but also for the sake of the country. Ah, wonderful. I don't think Ville was expecting an I love you back, and I think Simon's silence and squeeze was his actual response, not him saying I hope you have a Merry Christmas or whatever. I don't think Ville feels rejected at the end. I think he's just sad that it has to be this way right now. I agree. I won't say anything else. They worded it perfectly. That's what I said earlier in that video, and I stand by that statement. That's my vision of it anyway. Okay, this is going to go quick, but Linda is not that good of a parent. NANI? Excuse you? I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer because yes, she is. I don't hate Simon for not saying I love you back. I agree with that. Sarah and Philly's friendship is toxic. No, as we've said before, that's not what toxic means. So no, it's not toxic. Vilmon's relationship was not that healthy.
Get some help.
No, I disagree as well. I'm sorry. It wouldn't have been healthy if their dynamics would have stayed like this during the whole show and during the entire time in their relationship, which I don't think it was. I think that from episode 4 it was more like this, and it was healthy. They, like, yes, they had fights, and yes, they didn't always understood each other, but at least they tried and they talked and they listened to each other, and that's what makes a relationship healthy, in my opinion. And like, Simon chose himself in the end. He chose himself, which, I mean, technically it is healthy, but so it's not making their, I mean, it is making their relationship healthy, isn't it? Even though there is no relationship anymore, but like, if he hadn't chosen himself, then yeah, it wouldn't have been healthy. That's what I'm saying. Sorry. So I don't agree with that. Simon and Willem are just teenagers, and I think many of you forget that sometimes. Yes, they are still trying to figure out stuff, and they were actually very mature considering the circumstances. So picking sides or saying someone did better is really not it. Yes, give a cookie to that person. Wholeheartedly agree with this statement. Yes, exactly. Like, they're 16 years old, and one of them is in a terrible position with a lot of pressure, and it has been established that he does not deal well with pressure. So I'm sorry. I'm not mad at any of them. I think they handled that situation perfectly, and I just love them, okay? While we are on the subject of relationship, I just wanted to talk about a tweet that I've seen going around, and it's a headcanon, and I'm not disagreeing with the headcanon itself. I'm just disagreeing with like the reasoning behind the headcanon. Let me explain. Someone was saying that Simon probably has been into a relationship before. And they said that because the way he handles situation with maturity and care, he values communication and know that it's important in a relationship, and he knows what he wants and what he doesn't want out of a relationship. And although this is like all true statements, how does that equal him having been into a relationship before? Like, I don't know the age of the person who wrote the tweet. I don't know if they have any experience with relationships or stuff like that, but not to like throw myself like flowers and stuff, but when I was in my first relationship, those were all things I did, because you just need to be a mature person. And also, the bar is in hell. Like, I'm sorry, those are pretty like easy things and natural things to do when you're into a relationship, and not even just a romantic relationship. Like, if you're in any kind of relationship and the other person like doesn't value communication and don't handle stuff maturely, just get the hell out. Like, I don't know, I was kind of bothered by this week, because as I said before, it's not the idea of Simon being into a relationship before Willem that's like annoys me, because no, why not? And we don't know his life, so I'm not against that. But like, the reasoning behind it is, I don't know, it's weird to me. And like, please, I hope you guys know that this is literally the bare minimum you need in a relationship. Like, I'm not saying that Simon did the bare minimum, because he did not, and I have other examples that I'm not going to get into right now that showcases how he is actually the best human being to ever exist. But no, I don't think those things specifically equate you being into a relationship before. You just need to be mature. And since we've seen a bit of his past and how he handles things with his father, and like the position he had in the family with, his family drama and handling Sarah as well, like, those are things he's used to. And like, obviously, if he sees Willem having a hard time, he's not going to push him. Like, duh, I would hope not. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was pretty fun for me to make. I liked talking and like explaining thoughts I had. Maybe I'll do another video with theories and like ideas of what season 2 could look like. I think I'll do it if it gets announced that we are having a season 2, because I'm not hurting my brain thinking about stuff if we're never going to get in season 2. But you know what? I think we might, because Netflix has been pretty clear that they want all their stuff, and actors and actresses to be vaccinated. And who got his shot of vaccine just a few days ago? Yeah, Omar Woodberg. He had 1 whole year and he didn't do shit, but suddenly he's vaccinated. Sounds good. So anyway, if you like this video, you can leave comments down below. I will always read it. You can leave thumbs up. You can share this video. You can also check out the edit I've done for Vilmon. I posted it a few days ago and I really like it. And yeah, thank you so much for supporting me. I hope you had fun and see you next time. Bye!